الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم.
I started my tahfiz in year 3 when I was 7 years old.
My name is Maqsood. I started my hifz when I was 6 years old in Imam Zakaria Academy, and I finished in LEA with Ustaz Shakir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Muminur Raja. I started my hifz al-Quran in year 8 and finished in year 10.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ishaq, and I started my tahfiz in 2008 and I finished in 2013, so altogether it took me 4 years to complete my tahfiz.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Adil Isaac Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Wahab. I started my hifz in year 2 in 2007 at Imam Zakaria Academy.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rawaha. I started my hifz in 2008 in year 3. I was in Al-Mizan. I finished this year when I was in year 9.
My name is Abdul Wahid. I'm in year 10. I started tahfiz in year 3 at Al-Mizan school. I finished in 2013 at Aliyah.
My first teacher was Ustad Abdul Basit. I had a really tough time with him because that's when I started off tahfiz and I wasn't really focused on where I was going. I just thought, let's see how it goes. Then in year 5 he left and I went to Ustad Nasrullah for a year. Then in year 7 I joined LEA and I did my tahfiz with Ustad Badr for about 3 years. In year 10 I had Ustad Amjad. That's when I forgot my revision, so it was a pretty tough year for me. And then in year 11 for the last 2 months I had Ustad Shakir, and that's who I became huffaz with. From year 7 to present time I had another teacher. His name was Ustad Awlad. He was more to the side, but he also helped me a lot in finishing my tahfiz.
The teachers in my primary were Sir Asif and Kari Irfan. Then when I started at LEA, my teacher has been Ustaz Shakir since the beginning.
My teachers were Ustad Rehan, Ustad Badr, Ustad Fahru, Ustad Ashraf, Ustad Iraq, and Ustad Shakir.
I started my hifz when I was in year 2 and I completed in year 11. When I first started off with my first start with Ustad Awlad. Started off in Poplar, and when I first started it was very difficult for me. It was a hard journey that I started. As I progressed it got a bit more easier, and then in year 4 I joined Al-Mizan and my teacher was Ustad Badr for the whole of year 4 and year 5, and then in year 6 I joined Ustad Nasrullah's class, and that's when I started slowly progressing more and increasing my new lesson and my previous and my revision.
I studied in Al-Mizan Primary School and memorized 11 ajza over there, and the rest of the 19 ajza I completed in Egypt. I used to go to an institute over there, and altogether in a day I used to read 5 hours of Quran over there.
And then I joined LEA in year 7 where Ustad Badr was my after school tahfiz teacher for year 7 and year 8. And then in year 9 is when I joined Ustad Jahid's class, and I think that was my big booster when I think I did probably the most amount of juz in that year, apart from year 11. And then in year 10, which is when I joined Ustad Ashraf's class, and then that was also another big chunk of my tahfiz which was gone, which was mostly the middle juz. And then now in year 11 with Ustad Shakir's class and still with Ustad Awlad in my other evening class, I completed my tahfiz.
During my time in LEA, I went to Egypt where I studied Quran under Sheikh Fuad and Sheikh Mustafa. I used to start around 8 o'clock in the morning and finish around 1, so that's around 6 hours with only 1 break. So it was really intense.
I was in year 9. My teachers were Ustad Badr, Ustad Mishkat, Ustad Shakir, and Ustad Iraq. When I started it was a bit difficult. Slowly it became more easier. By year 5 I started doing constant 1 page a day, and then since then it was a little easier. But then I took a gap year out to do revision, and then after that I finished off.
I went to Egypt for a year and it was a good experience because I had the opportunity to learn loved us?
My inspiration was most definitely my parents, simply because they did a lot for me and they supported me, and so I thought this would be a great way to repay my never-ending debt. And of course on the day of judgment they would inshallah get a crown that would be really shiny, and I like shiny things.
I was 6 when I started, so obviously I started out with like 5 lines of new lesson, but then gradually you build up to 1 page, but I never got to doing more than 1 page of new lesson, but yeah, I persisted and I finished.
When I was doing my Hifz al-Quran, my teachers helped me a lot, so I would like to thank them for that.
Over there I didn't focus much on my revision. So when I came back to LEA, I focused on my revision a lot, and Ustaz Shakil helped me and pushed me to try and make my revision strong.
So there were a lot of things that inspired me to complete my hifz, such as my teachers like Ustad Aulad, Ustad Badr. Also my family were very, very supportive, and also seeing my other friends and people around me completing really pushed me.
My inspiration was my teachers and friends. I saw a lot of my friends were finishing and I wanted to finish as well.
The main inspiration was that fact that nobody else was a hafiz in my family, so I was going to be the first one to complete.
One of my inspirations was that other people in the class were like finishing the Quran, and I want to be like that too.
Well, I faced a few challenges throughout my tahfiz. One was, I recall my teacher saying to me once that shaitan comes to you in 3 points during your tahfiz. One is when you start, and it sort of, in a sense, it gives you the idea that it's really long, you probably won't be able to finish it. But thankfully I was like 7 years old. I wasn't really wholeheartedly in it, so that wasn't too much of a challenge for me. And then my teacher said that in the middle of your tahfiz he also comes up to you, well, not really comes up to you, but says to you that you've still got a lot of your Quran left, how are you going to do it? That time though, it really did hit me, and for a while this was one of my most difficult phases. I found it really hard to actually progress. My new lessons were really little, and that was a pretty hard time for me. And then lastly, towards the end is when the last time he's supposed to come, but by this time I was really inspired, and honestly I felt that there was nothing that could stop me. I was giving huge new lessons, alhamdulillah, and yeah, eventually I finished.
It wasn't easy to memorize, but I tried. There were a few times where I forgot my revision. I relearned it, and now some of those drills are my strongest.
I started in year 8 memorizing huffaz drills with Ustaz Rehan, but then realized that my revision was very weak. So when I went in year 9, Ustaz Fakhru helped me to improve my revision and make it stronger. Also, all my stars, my friends and my family helped me to cover my revision.
My hardest challenge it was and still is my revision, in maintaining my revision, and my mum and Ustaz Shakil are really pushing me to maintain my revision and keep it strong.
The main person that helped me was one of my friend's mothers, who of course was a hafiz as well, and she really helped me throughout my whole journey since the beginning. And obviously my mum, who was most enthusiastic about it and really motivated me to finish.
My biggest challenge was probably finishing, because it took me a long time.
Jazakallah to all my ustads that helped me over there. There's been many of them, and they've had to put up with me for a long time because it was very, very difficult for me. But alhamdulillah, thank you for having the patience to put up with me and letting me, and like at least teaching me to complete and helping me through this journey.
I give a special thanks to 2 of my teachers, who were Ustad Aulad, because he was probably with me for the longest in one go. He was with me from year 7 all the way until I finished. And another teacher would probably be Ustad Badr, because I was with him since year 3, so he saw my entire journey throughout tahfiz. And Ustad Shakil, because I also did year 10 with him.
My inspiration for learning the Quran was in my primary, when I was just in the normal reading class and my teacher saw that I could do more, and he felt that I should do more, and he asked me whether I wanted to. At first I said no, because I thought it was hard and I wasn't willing to take on the risk, but then he showed me how he saw that I was exceeding in that class and he felt that I should do more. And when he asked me the second time, I said yes.
In my family, there's no hafiz, but there's alims. So if I were to become a hafiz, I would be the first one. The day I finished my Hifz al-Quran, I was so relieved and so happy.
Even if you think that you won't be able to make it, you have time. So learn it and learn it properly. And it doesn't matter if you're not in LEA or if you're not in Islamic school, you can learn it and remember it's for Allah.
My family and my teachers have helped me finish the Quran, so I would like to thank them for that.
Message to my parents and my teachers and my family is Jazakallah for helping me complete my tahfiz. My inspiration on finishing the Quran was my mom. She really pushed me ever since I was young. She pushed me to memorize the Quran and try and maintain my revision, and she at the moment she still is pushing me with my revision.
My overall journey through tahfiz was pretty bumpy as a whole. I can't really say it was easy because I'm a hafiz, I can't really lie anymore. But suppose at the end of the day it was completely worth it. And yeah, again, iPad, so I'm happy.